Marjorie Taylor Greene feels the heat. Now that Marjorie Taylor Greene has gone on to the other side where Donald Trump is attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene, Marge thinks it's because of the Epstein files. I don't really care what the reason is, but this shows a huge fissure in MAGA, where you have one of the staunchest MAGA supporters and supporters of Donald Trump now face to face with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump calls Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor and says that she's a low IQ person. This is the same thing, the same garbage that he points at everybody he stabs in the back or everybody he throws under the bus. She's a low IQ person, but she was a loyal person until I wasn't able to answer her phone calls because I'm just too busy to answer people's phone calls. You can't call me 3 times a day. I mean, it puts out Marjorie Taylor Greene to be this desperate person calling, but what Marjorie Taylor Greene was calling him for was showing him the death threats that she's receiving because of Donald Trump's targeting of Marjorie Taylor Greene. And mind you, I don't really have that much sympathy for Marge because she was right up there with Donald Trump when she was spreading the vitriol that was impacting other people. But now we have Marjorie Taylor Greene come out and talk against that sort of vitriol, where she says, it's easy for me to say a prayer for him and forgive him. But the part that I have had a very hard time with is the fact that he called me a traitor. And because of his words, that brought serious threats against myself and my family. Marge, that's what it did for every other person who Donald Trump has called a traitor. Do you understand now what those words cause? You are feeling that right now, and you're realizing it because you are experiencing it, but you have limited capacity to understand how those words and those attacks could have impacted others. You instead went after those people saying the same things, following Donald Trump's lead. On CNN, Marge says, I feel very sorry for President Trump. I genuinely do. It has to be a hard place for someone that is constantly so hateful and puts so much vitriol, name-calling, and really tells lies about people in order to try to get his way. Well, Marge, nothing has changed about Donald Trump. Something has changed about you. So I hope you figured that out, and I hope you start coming out apologetically before you play the victim, because you victimized and you preyed upon a lot of people, and you were part of that loud speaking dissemination of insightful words with Donald Trump at that time when Donald Trump was rising. And now that he has stabbed you in the back, you are realizing what it means. So she says, I sent those death threats directly to him in a text message and informed him of what his name calling and words were doing. It was a direct assassination threat on my son. And he was extremely, and I won't repeat what he said, but was extremely unkind. No sympathy, no care. Did you think that Donald Trump was going to treat you any differently, Marge? Did you think that the leopard wasn't going to bite your face off? Well, now you know better. She says about leaving Congress, I've had over 773 death threats that my office reported to Capitol Police. Should I have to become like Charlie Kirk? I think that's too much to ask. Yes, political violence is too much. We need to stop political violence, and in order to stop that, we need to stop violent, insightful rhetoric, something that Marjorie Taylor Greene very much did when she was in the camp of Donald Trump. But now that she has been ousted because of her positions on the Epstein file or whatever other reason that she has now become the enemy and a traitor, she is realizing the impact of political violence that is caused by inciting political violence through speech. She is getting a dose of her own kill pill that she gave when she was standing with Donald Trump. And no, she should not be subjected to that. Nobody should be subjected to political violence or threat of political violence. That's something that Donald Trump has made a commonplace occurrence in American society. And I'm glad that Marge has come around to realizing what that does, what inciting that sort of violence does. But she's only realizing it because she has been attacked and her son has been attacked because of Donald Trump's words. I hope she understands what other people in the Democratic Party, for example, go through on a day-to-day basis when they get these attacks from Donald Trump coming every single day. Don't forget about Paul Pelosi. Don't forget about the Minnesota Congresswoman Hortman, who was murdered along with her husband. Don't forget about Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania's home being burnt down while they were in there. Don't forget about these things. Don't forget about Charlie Kirk either. Don't forget about Scalise's incident either. Don't forget about Gabby Gifford's incident either. These are all political violence instances that should not be happening in our country. But it is happening, and it is increasing in pace, and we need to stop that. And the first way to stop that, and the best way to stop that, is for the President of the United States to stop using that insightful rhetoric. And that's the moral of the story, is that Donald Trump needs to stop the political violence because he's the one who is inciting it. He is perpetrator number one in inciting political violence in America, and he needs to stop. With that said, thank you for listening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.